So this part is talking about how to install VPN, especially SSTP. There is a very good document that you can refer to that document, how to install SSTP. So you know that VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. So we have different type of a VPN under Windows. You can use PPTP, point-to-point transfer protocol, or L2TP, layer 2 transfer protocol, or SSTP, which is new, that one, secure socket tunneling protocol. So what we are doing, the others also is the same as SSTP, but the reason that I selected SSTP as this part of lab, because you generate a certificate and then you use that certificate part of your VPN connection. So the lab is asking you, you should have a Windows Server, Windows 10. That's part of our configuration so far. So we have both of them. So your, I think your, let me see that ncpa.cpl. So you can continue with your range of IP address that you have. But in the document, they mentioned that if you want to configure the server, your server should be 192.168.10.1. So I can configure here 192.168.10.1, 255, and I can put the DNS also as 192.168.10.1. If you're continuing the previous lab, then you don't need to change the IP addresses. So basically you have your DHCP IP address and you can continue. In my case, because everything is deleted, so I should set the IP address. So then I set the IP address for also my client as 192.168.10.100. That's Windows 10. And I can put the gateway as 192.168.10.1, you know, and also DNS, you can put it as 192.168.10.1. That's your Windows server. Okay, so far we created this part. Then you should have two Ethernet here. So one of your Ethernet on, so basically I have one Ethernet here on the Windows server. So I add another Ethernet connection, net for adapter. So this is my Ethernet number 2. That's part of the NAT. Look, now I'm gonna have two connections here. Okay. So this connection basically is my internet, and this connection is my local network that I said, local. I put it local. So that means that now this one is connected to the internet. You see that? Okay. So I put local network, that means this one, as a custom VPN, as a custom VMnet network. For example, VMnet 19. And I put this one also, Windows 10 as network adapter. This one also custom VMnet 19. So that means if I want to show you that how they are connected together, so it is like this. So basically we have a Windows 10, then through this Ethernet connected to Windows Server, right? That's Windows Server. So here is 192.168.10.100. For example, this one is 192.168.10.1, 10.1. And the other interface is connected to the internet. So that NAT interface is connected to the internet. That's our scenario basically. So then we are doing VPN to this server. So that's our VPN connection through the Windows 10. And then basically we should uh, establish a connection and create a VPN server here. That's our goal for this lab. So I am gonna come back to, let me close my um, Ubuntu here. So under Windows Server, just make sure you should have a 2 network adapter before starting this lab. So then you add feature, all right? And then you can continue the steps. The document shows every steps that you need and some steps that I ask you to take a screenshot, so then you can take a screenshot. So then next, so the part of the things that you need here for this one is remote access. You see that? Remote access. So that enables the VPN and the other stuff for you. So then you click next, next, and then here under your services, you have um, direct access and VPN and routing and web proxy. You know, remember that also we had in Linux class, if you want to create web proxy, you can do with the Windows operating system here. Routing, like if you want to create a router on the Windows server, you can use this one. I'm going to select the first one, which is direct access and VPN. Okay, then next, and then you can um, select also some services that you need for IIS. So here, by default, some services are enabled. So we just leave it as default and then install it. You know, because you install IIS in previous session, so basically you will not receive that part, that step, but this is like a fresh Windows server. That's why I received that message that I should install um, IIS services. So why IIS? Because IIS, we generate a certificate. And when you generate a certificate, you use that certificate part of your VPN connection. So the next step for us is we're gonna go to Internet Information Service, like here, right? And then we did also in the previous session how to generate the self-signed certificate. And then you go under server certificate and then create a self-signed certificate, this one.
Sir, I have
So
a
for,
question.
yeah,
Sir, the certificate that we generated in the previous lab, do we have to remove that, or we can just continue making new certificate here?
you can use the previous certificate also.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So if you have a certificate from the previous session, you can use that one. So probably you have it. Um, so SSTP, I put that one is SSTP. Then this is your certificate that you're creating for this step. So to view that certificate, you can click on view. You see that? That's your certificate that you have here issued. Um, and it's valid from 6/19. That's today until 2024. So what we should do, we should export this certificate and save it somewhere. So the thing is that if you go under details and copy to file, so then you can export this one. So you see that here, export is asking you, do you want to export the private key also? No, we don't want to export the private key. And then you have the option here to use it as x.509.cer, like encode binary. So I'm going to select that one. Next. And then the location that you want to save. For example, I want to save it under desktop. And when you want to save it, is asking for like what type of name you want to set for this one. So I'm setting that's my sign, for example, cert. That's sign cert. Next, and then the export was successful. So you have the file under your desktop. So if I want to show you, let me close this one, this one, this one. So you see that that's your certificate that you exported. But for RAS, remote access also, you see that we have post deployment. Always pay attention to this warning message that you're receiving here. So let's see what is the post configuration. So it seems that is installing that part also. So now it is okay. So then we should go and configure RAS or remote access. So here, if you look at here, we have a remote access management. So this is like post configuration that we have for this console. So it's, yeah, you see that you can run direct access VPN or you can remote access VPN setup. So use this wizard to configure the VPN quickly. Default recommended setting. This one, direct access and VPN setting have not yet been configured. Select this wizard. So we haven't configured that one. So you can select the first option. Also, we used to have the other options. Let me close the IIS. We used to have like from here. So we had like remote access management, routing and remote access. Sorry. Yeah, this one. This is a quick way that you can access that server. So this is the newest version. Look, also it shows you how you can configure a VPN. Either one, it works. You know, you can go from. But in the past, we didn't have this wizard remote access setup. We used to use this remote access page. Anyway, here we are configuring deploy VPN, and it come back to this remote access page. So under remote access page here, you right click on the server and select configure. And next. So what we are configuring for this step, there are many options. You can go for VPN and NAT, this option. So that gives you the VPN connection, and the NAT, that means translation of the, but there is like a custom configuration that you can customize this option. that option is going to be better. Like then you can select VPN access. So I'm going to select the VPN access. Because here, look, if you want from your Windows 10 to have the internet, when you connect a VPN connection, then you should enable also NAT. But we don't, this is not part of the lab goal, so we only enable VPN access. And then finish and okay. So then it will start this service for you. Okay. So then you right click here, properties. So there are some options that we should configure here. First of all, um, under properties, look under security. We have here certificate at the end. You see that? Select certificate socket tunneling protocol. Should use to bind the SSL. Should you use to bind with the SSL? So you can select your certificate here. There is my certificate name. So I can view that certificate. Okay, that's the certificate that I had. So I can select that one. And the other option that I want to enable here is a range of IP address that I want to give to the client. So um, what we have in the document. So you can put any range of IP address. That's you can set, for example, 192.168.10.1 to 1020. But the document mentioned, okay, set as, for example, 10.10.10.1 until 10.10.10.10. That means that the first client get the 10.10.10.1 and the last one gets 10.10.10.10. That means that 10 clients can receive an IP address from the DHCP that you have set here. Okay. And then apply it and save it and then click OK. Okay. Click OK. So the thing is that if you are under a domain controller, so your users are under Active Directory domain users and computers. So my case here is work group. So if you look at the user, for example, one of your user, administrator, my user is located here, but your case is different because if you're under domain controller, your user is administrator under user and um, domain users and computers. So what the thing is that I am saying here, it works for domain controller as well. So there is an option here, dial in. You see that by default, it is controlled by NPS network policy. So you should allow access this one. Otherwise, your user cannot log in through the VPN. So any users that you wanna, for example, if you wanna create also new user like VPN and set the password ABC, for example, 1234, ABC 1234, you should allow here under VPN, look, I double click and then under dialing, I allow access. So that means that anyone is trying to use the VPN, then you allow that person to access the network. Okay. So now we should go to, and let me cancel this one. We should bring this certificate. We should copy to this Windows 10. So the way that I can do, I can share it, or I can, there are many ways. You can copy, for example, from Windows Server to your local host here, paste it. Can I paste? No, I can't. But let me do this way. I can share this one. That's better way. Share. Okay, create share folder and then share this certificate here, and then right click on the folder, um, give access to, is a little slow, and then add everyone, add read access, share it. Yeah, turn on network discovery also, share it. Okay. So then under Windows 10, I know that, okay, my server address is 192.168.10.1. Okay, then I put the administrator password to access that file. User, administrator, desktop, share folder. Look, that's here. So I copy it, paste it under my desktop. So I bring the certificate to Windows 10. Okay. So here, when you are on a Windows 10, install the certificate. You can select this one as local machine, and then next, it will install your certificate. Do you want to store it as the following user? So you can say place it as, for example, I put it as a trusted certificate authorities. So here, if you look at here, trusted root certification authorities. So I put it here, and then next, and then finish. So that means that this certificate that I bring it from the server now is part of trusted network. The import was successful. Okay, I got it. So then under your Windows 10, you go to network connection, and then VPN connection, add a VPN connection. So Windows built-in, right? So then you create the name, example VPN. That's server address 192.168.10.1. And then the protocol, put that one as SSTP. Here, username administrator, ABC, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 or 3. We will figure out which one it works. So then connect. Okay. You should, because this is certificate based, you should put that server name, server FQDN. I think is this name. Look, this is my server name, and my certificate name also is created based on this server name. So then I should go to advanced option here instead of this one. Can I copy this one? No. So then I don't have any choice to type it. Win. That's why always we should select a good name for our server. H 7H8OFB. I guess it is similar. It's 1MH7HOFB. Yeah. Okay, save it. Then come back to your VPN connection. Try to connect it. There you go. You have VPN connected. So look now, if you check CMD IP config, you got 10.10.10.2. Remember, that's the range of IP address that we got it from our, what was that? The DHCP that you defined through the VPN. And also here, if you go to Windows Server, you can verify it here under why this service is disabled. So yeah, under clients, you see that this client is connected. That's your through the administrator. Also shows that the sessions duration is connected here, right? So I think that's part of the rule of the lab that we needed. Also, if you want to see your connection information from here, so you see that you have VPN SSTP, you can see the details, the information also is located here, 10.10.10.2. So that's part of the VPN SSTP that you have it for Windows.